We have a project and a main timeline down here. We need to start putting things on there to tell our story because that's what we do in editing. Editing is where the story is told. So let's do this. If we select something in the browser up here like this one, we know that what's being displayed over in the viewer is represented by the browser. But the viewer does, in a sense, double duty. If we have things on our timeline down here, basically it's going to show us up here what's down here. Just depends on where we are. Do this. Select this one by clicking on it once. See the hand tool. Drag it down. Wait for visual confirmation, that big blue kind of rectangle, and then just let go. Go to our black and white one over here. Select it once. Wait for the hand. Drag it down. Again, confirmation. Doesn't matter where you let go. Final Cut Pro on the main storyline will snap everything to the left. Now, that's not true of everything we're going to be doing, but for now it is. It takes it all the way to the left. It ensures you have a clean edit break between the two clips. But now that we're down here, what we see up here is based on what's down here, not over here. So it's serving double duty. Now let's look at how we navigate. We know the spacebar one, I think. You press the spacebar and it will take you in real time. Press it again, it stops. 3 of the keys you really want to remember are the J, K, and L keys. So take 3 fingers and place them on the J, K, L keys. If you press the K key, you stop, kind of like spacebar. If you press the L key, you go forward in real time. If you press the J key, you go backwards in real time. But there's more to them than that. If you want to go faster, you press the L key, press it again. Press it again. Press it again. Same thing with the J key. You want to go backwards. Keep pressing it. You go faster. If you use your left and right arrow keys, you can go 1 perfect frame at a time based on your frame rate. Now, if you look up here, we're at 15 seconds and 20 frames. These videos were shot at 24 frames per second, which means when I get to 24, it resets to the next second. If you're running at 30 frames a second, it's going to go to 30 till it resets. Just depends on your frame rate, what you're going to see there. If you press your up and down arrow keys, you will go from clip or edit point to edit point. If you have a full-size keyboard and you have a home and end keys, home takes you to the beginning, end takes you all the way to the end. If we come all the way down here to the lower left, this little button right here opens up the timeline index. Now it shows both our videos. We can select them if we want. Even shows us our notes. When you get a very complicated thing going on and you're looking for something, it's nice to know you've got that. Let's go ahead and close that for now. Over here on the right, you have a slider that controls your horizontal positioning of your clips, stretches them or shrinks them. Doesn't make them faster or slower, doesn't change them, just changes what you see. Over here, this button allows you to change the appearance of the clips, even removing the icons altogether. We can change the clip height, show connections, which will make more sense when we actually have connections to see, and show things like clip names, angles, or rolls, clip appearance. If you would like to see this in full screen running normal speed, you can click this button right here. You want to get out, press the escape key. Down here you have 4 buttons. This one turns on skimming, just like up here, which means I can skim. I'm not dragging my mouse, I'm just moving it. Most of the time, the way I edit, I turn that off. Now, you can turn it off just by pressing the letter S. You have an audio skim here. You have a button over here that does solo selected items. We'll talk about that later. This button right here, though, is snapping. So if I'm dragging my playhead here, it will snap to edit points or clips. And in most cases, that's nice to have. But sometimes I turn that off, and if you do, then it's up to you to position the playhead because it's not going to snap. And there are times when you do want to turn that off. But right now we're going to turn that back on. Let's do one more thing here. Make sure you're down here and press Command A, which is select all, and then press delete. Clears it off. This chapter is about basic editing technique kind of stuff. Ripple edits and blade edits and all kinds of different things. And we'll experiment without actually doing the project yet. Now, the good news about that is obvious. We're dealing with a non-destructive, non-linear editing program. There is no downside to practice because once we get done, we can clean that off and start getting serious.